A single underlying message that I take away from my faith. He's gonna put some super on my natural. If I do what I'm supposed to do right here in this natural physical realm, he gonna put some super on it. I guess about 5 years ago now, it was a pain, lower abdomen. I figured I was probably a hernia. My dad had a hernia like 2 years prior to that. And the doctor said, well, if it's a hernia, it's a slight one at most. He's like, let's just go ahead and get a snapshot of what's going on inside of you. And I'll never forget that next day, and the phone rings, and it's Dr. Titus Duncan. And he's like, yeah, Derek, when we looked in your stomach, we found something extraordinary. I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, you have a tumor the size of a volleyball in your stomach. And so they did some tests, and he had his opinion, And the funny thing is, I majored in biology, right? And so he said malignant, but malignant just did not register. So I was like, what do you mean? I do believe that, medicine and doctors is part of God's healing hand. I do believe that. But the other thing I would like to make sure that everybody under my voice understands is the doctors, what they do, it's called a practice. Okay? It's called a practice, and it's called a practice for a reason. It didn't matter to me what this doctor said about my situation. It doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is what God says about my situation. And God says that by his stripes that I am healed, right? So my perception is my reality, okay? I remember calling my now wife Fawn, and she talked to my bishop, and my bishop said that it was not unto death. And that is the word that I stood on. And the good news is all you need is a word. I really had to start dealing with the reality, and I'm like, I want to find the best surgeons possible ever. I don't care if I got to go to some remote place in Istanbul. He happened to be in like Birmingham, Alabama at UAB. Went through, had the surgery, and I was scared. I called in, some of my prayer angels, and I really believed that hands could be laid on me, that this thing was going to shrink. That was what I was believing for. The following day, I remember coming out of surgery. I was so tired, but I couldn't sleep because I was in pain. Every time I dozed, I'd wake up because I was in pain. And my brother stayed with me the whole night, and he said that the angel Gabriel appeared on the right side and said, stay up with him because he's been cut open and he's very vulnerable right now. So I need you to stay up and be at watch with him right now. And my brother stayed up all night and just right there with me. About 10 days later, I began to get stronger. And I'll never forget the doctor, Dr. Victors, came in and he said, we have witnessed a miracle, your tumor is benign. And everybody started rejoicing and screaming, but I didn't. I knew I was healed. My conviction in my belief was so strong at this point that it wasn't even a possibility that I wasn't healed. Praise God that not only did it not work the way I wanted to, and the hands being laid on me, now I have this beautiful scar to show off that I love to show off, which is proof that, He is the risen Lord.